friends, in today's video I am going to share with you my favorite homemade granola recipe. Now, in one of my previous vlogs I had talked about, trying to make granola, but then I changed my mind and made banana bread instead. But it's time. I really do need to make some granola. It's my favorite recipe. It's a very easy recipe with easy ingredients, and I like to eat it with yogurt, like in a parfait, and I also like to eat it with milk like you would a regular granola. It's even good sprinkled on ice cream. So come on, let me show you how I make my easy, healthy, homemade granola. So this is the book that I'm getting the recipe out of. I really like this book. It talks about, the whole idea behind this book is to try to get yourself and your family weaned off of processed, gross, food that they say is food, but is so full of additives and ingredients that it can't really even be considered food. And so it's 100 easy, wholesome recipes. And this is the book that I got my granola recipe out of. Alright, so this recipe is very easy. And it's just basically you dump the ingredients in the bowl, mix it up, put it on a parchment lined cookie sheet, and you bake it at 250 degrees for 75 minutes. Then once it's cooled, you break it up and store it in an airtight container. Of course, with granola you need oatmeal, so I'm just going to use these old-fashioned rolled oats that I get from Aldi. And pretty much all of my ingredients came from Aldi, pretty much. And you're going to need 3½ cups. I just love granola, and if it's not full of sugar and bad stuff, it's really very nutritious for you. It fills you up and gives you lots of energy and keeps you full till lunch, that's for sure. So there's 3½ cups of oats. And then you need to put in a mixture of nuts. You need 2 cups of nuts, raw, unsalted, and you can use your favorite nuts. Now I have slivered almonds and I have walnuts. So I'm going to put a cup of each of these in the granola mix. And since I like mine extra nutty and there's just a tiny bit left of the almonds, I'm just going to go ahead and dump the whole bag in. So it's probably more like 2 1/4 cups of nuts. And even in the recipe it says you can add in an extra handful or 2 of your nuts, of your favorite nuts. And then you're going to need a 1/2 cup. Well, you can do whatever you like. It calls for either raw sunflower seeds or raw pumpkin seeds, or a combination of both. Now, I currently do not have any sunflower seeds, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a whole cup of the raw pumpkin seeds in. I got these at a wholesale place, or a whole bulk foods, that's the word I'm trying to find, when we went to Shipshewana for our anniversary. So there's a cup of raw pumpkin seeds. And then you're going to want a cup of unsweetened shredded coconut. And I don't know, I may not have exactly a cup left. Oh, almost exactly. There's a little bit left, so I'm going to go ahead and just dump that in as well. So you want to also add your spices into this. So you need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and I love cinnamon, so I'm probably going to put 2½. In any recipe that calls for cinnamon, I always add extra because I'm a cinnamon crazy. Calls for 1½ teaspoons of ground ginger. Ground ginger's almost gone. This is going to be a recipe where I'm finishing up a lot of stuff. 1½ and then a half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Now it also calls for salt, half a teaspoon of salt. The last time I made this, I don't know if I did something wrong or what happened, but I found I didn't really like the salt in it. So I'm not going to add any salt to this at all. So once you get all of the nuts and oats and spices, and if you want to add the salt in the bowl, then you're just going to combine it till it's nice and thoroughly mixed. For the wet ingredients, you're going to take a small saucepan and you're going to put it over low heat, and to the pan you're going to add 6 tablespoons of either butter or coconut oil, and I'm going to use coconut oil. And then a half a cup of honey. And if you don't already know this little trick to get honey and sticky things like honey and peanut butter and stuff out of measuring cups, spray them with a little cooking spray before. Spray the measuring cup with cooking spray before, and look how well it comes out. So you're going to cook this over low heat until the coconut oil is completely melted and everything's nicely combined, and then take it off the heat and add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Doesn't take nearly as long to melt coconut oil as it does butter. So then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and I didn't measure, I just dumped. That's pretty close to 2 teaspoons, I would say, and mix this together thoroughly. So now you're going to just drizzle the wet ingredients over the dry ingredients and stir it up thoroughly, so that all the dry ingredients are completely coated. Once everything is nice and combined and coated, you're going to spread it out on a cookie sheet that has been lined with parchment paper. I kind of like mound it up in the middle, and then I'll spread it out. Alright, so you stick this in the oven for 75 minutes. You don't have to stir it or anything. Just Put it in a 250-degree oven for 75 minutes. When this is all done and ready to come out of the oven, I'll bring you back, and I'll bring you back when it's nice and cool and show you how easily it breaks up into smaller pieces. So here is the granola out of the oven. I store it in this big gallon glass canister. And so I'm going to go ahead and just break this up. So as you see, it just crumbles up really nice. And you can leave it in as big a chunks or as small as chunks as you want. I kind of like getting big chunks of granola in my cereal, but on my yogurt I like it a little more broken up. So I kind of like to make a mixture of the two. So there you have it, friends. There is my homemade, quick, easy, and delicious granola recipe. As always, I will have this recipe written out in the description box below. I hope you give this recipe a try, and if you do, let me know. I'd love to hear back from you. We'll talk to you later, friends. Bye-bye.